Deven Choksey is with us. Deven, good morning. Good to have you with us here. Thanks for joining in. Simple question: can we see some more this positioning, more than anything, positioning-led rally ahead of the, I dare say, big event? Because many are, when I say big event, many start by saying, well, it's not a big event. Importance of budget is falling and all of that. But it's an event, right? Nevertheless, and I mean, if the government so wishes, it can do enough in that to be meaningful for markets. So, what's your sense? More positioning-driven move possible here?
Yeah, Prashant, good morning. Well, on expectation lines, yes, I think there should be some position taken. If at all, I think the short position should get covered. I think that is what one is expecting. Maybe some part of the yesterday's volume in the derivative market rollover, much lower, is suggesting so. Now, I think having said that, I think I would like to think how exactly the budget can pull in more amount of investors. Probably, I think the issue out here would be how we exactly attract new capital into the country. And this time around, I think more of a FDI capital vis-a-vis, I think the FPI capital as we are talking about. So that at least I think the larger part of the fall in the rupee currency, I think would probably find stability or it could to get arrested. So from that point of view, I think one is definitely keenly looking at expectations from the budget as to what are the triggers that will probably drive the inflow of currency into the country to prevent the fall in the rupee value. Otherwise, I think on the whole, corporate earnings sector definitely is becoming more and more promising for most of the investors. Currently, the environment looks, I think, quite comfortable for companies to grow in the fourth quarter as well and beyond thereafter. So I think we believe that sooner than later, if the fall in the rupee value stops, maybe we will see the market stabilizing with budget or without budget. I guess I think that is more important.
Okay, all right. Hi, Deven. Good morning. Good to see you in. Deven, I remember even on bad days, you were, reasonably positive on Vedanta. They seem to be doing the right thing yet again. Hindustan Zinc has gone through the roof, 3 lakh crore market capitalization. The promoter entity is saying, let's take 1.5% away from the market. So that's why they're going to be raising roughly around 4,500 crores. That's good news because it deleverages Vedanta's balance sheet. It also could be used for capex or even give out dividends. Your view on Vedanta from here on, and given that this OFS that Hindustan Zinc is going to be open today, the stock is going to pull back. Do you think it's an entry opportunity?
Yeah, Nigel, good morning. Not too sure whether I think one would call it as an entry opportunity, but yes, I think the basic momentum with the metal price rally that we have seen is continuing from Vedanta, and I think it's likely to remain so. The demerger definitely is a good trigger that we have always been talking about, and that's where probably I think 750 price was expected. We are almost in that direction, maybe. Yes, I think the deleveraging of the balance sheet is an important factor, and they are sensibly probably taking out some money from the assets like Hindustan Zinc because I think it is giving a fantastic opportunity today. In my viewpoint, I think I would probably stay invested in this particular opportunity. The merger is definitely giving much more better promise for the growth as far as I think the Vedanta is concerned. Maybe I think some units, I think after the demerger, we may not want to hold it, but otherwise, I think by and large, the white metal is something which one would like to continue holding it as far as the portfolio in Vedanta is concerned.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think what a move, right, in some of these precious metals, etc. So, markets, of course, have re-rated some of the underlying names as well. Not very many with exposure here, but I mean, the ones where there is exposure, things have gone well. Deven, we reported yesterday that Axis Bank was up 4.5% yesterday. My colleague reported that Axis Bank may be looking to buy out the promoters of Credit Access, the MFI company. They're evaluating and they may place a bid. Just to be absolutely clear. Now, source-based information. I don't know if you have any thoughts at all, Deven, on this.
No, honestly, Prashant, I think not seen with a very great detail and how exactly the needle can be moved. I think with the MFI business, I think taken into the portfolio of Axis Bank. One will have to see, I think, what kind of integration strategy they want to evolve year after, if at all, I think they end up buying credit access. but not sure at this point of time as to how exactly it will reflect into the larger book of Axis Bank.
Okay. Got that. You know, just to go back to the commodity question, right? Another equity way to play commodities is the exchange itself, which is MCX. Do you have a view? Do you own it? Any thoughts?
Yep, I think you are right. One could possibly argue for the stock exchange business, and I think we continue to hold it. So that is the disclaimer anyway. But I think more important part here is that I think whether you would like to buy the argument that exchange business, I think, becomes more favorable with the commodity business, like I think metal commodity in particular, bullion commodity. I think for which I think we want to take a complete bet on the exchange business. The answer would purely be no, because I think that could be I think quite a volatile kind of a situation in between. But on the whole, I think the overall approach on the commodity side of the business of MCX that convinces me that yes, I think the volume is going to be gradually there. So, an increasing rather. So, I think we remain confident about the prospects going forward, but not just the argument because of the bullion commodity currently, which is in favor at this point of time.
Yeah, yeah. The EU-India FTA and you know the implications out of that. So I mean, yesterday, of course, the top Nifty loser was Mahindra, which was down about 4.5% by close. This morning, there are a few. I mean, there are of course implications, and this will be slowly understood. And just to make it clear, it's not happening now. The actual operationalization is only going to be in early 2027. So there is time. But analysts are also pointing out to the Alcobev sector and Alcobev space and saying, well, you know, this will meaningfully increase competitive intensity for Indian players, Indian listed players. Any thoughts on these segments, autos and Alcobev, or anything else you think needs to be pointed out?
Practically, Prashant, I think I feel it's an opportunity for auto segment. In fact, I think in the auto segment, the contrary to the view that most of the global automobiles, I think, will become cheaper, I think it is unlikely to be a case. I don't think that I think they're going to be cheaper because today also, if you look at, I think the likes of Mercedes or BMW, which are the premium category of vehicles, around 90% plus kind of components are domestically sourced and manufactured. About 10% are still imported. And I think it's not going to be substantially bringing down the price of vehicles beyond the point, even though the duty structure comes down on the 10% of the component that they are sourcing. So in my viewpoint, I think the vehicle prices are not going to come down, and neither I think the demand for the Indian vehicles. On the contrary, I feel that I think the export-oriented business, I think possibly will find better legs going forward. So let's wait and see how the details comes out. But I think per se in the auto, given the space in which Tata and Mahindra are operating or even Maruti is operating, I think they have reasonably good chance to remain at that level and maybe grow further.
Any implications, Deven, for auto ancillary companies on the back of the India-EU FTA?
I think excellent prospects emerging, Rima, out of this particular agreement that is being signed. And yes, I think as Prashant said, I think it will take time to roll out many of these initiatives. Maybe corporates, I think, will work together with the counterparts in Europe, and they will probably, I think, decide how exactly which products they want to source from India, etc. But I believe that I think the prospects are only brighter and not otherwise. We remain extremely convinced about the companies which are having the advanced infotainment systems or even the ADAS systems as a product category within their basket. I think those kind of companies reasonably hold a very good chance for I think some integration with some of the European majors going forward.
Okay, Deven, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. Good speaking with you. Appreciate it very much here on CNBC TV 18.